What is gentle parenting? I think it's described as like helicopter parenting. You know, like when you're always there, or you're always like, oh, okay, darling, we'll not do that if you don't want to. And it's like, no, sometimes you have to do stuff. Like you have to tidy up after yourself. Because if you get to a teenager and you've never tidied up after yourself, and then you move out and you've never tidied up after yourself, you've got a rude awakening.
I do think that gentle parenting, for the most part, doesn't work. We noticed this from an early age. So when Harlow used to fall over, Amy would automatically run over and just grab her and mollycoddle her. And I said, you can't keep doing that because sometimes it's not needed. If I see Harlow fall over, my first reaction is, how bad is it? Yeah. My first reaction isn't to run over and grab her and cuddle her and go, oh my God, baby, you okay? If she's sobbing her eyes out and she's really hurt herself and she's bleeding from the knees, I'm like, right, shit, give us a cuddle, you okay? Let's wipe your tears, let's get you wiped down. But most of the time, when she falls over, I give her a look, I say, you all right? She goes, yeah, I'm all right. I says, you strong? She goes, yeah, I'm strong. Wipe yourself down, let's crack on them. And what you're teaching kids there is it's okay to fall over. You don't necessarily have to be mollycoddled all the time. And there's not always going to be someone there to pick you up. You're going to have to learn how to pick yourself up a little bit sometimes. I think there's not enough of that in society.
Welcome to Fit Dad's Podcast. I'm Brad Thompson. I'm joined by Ryan Dutton. Bit more of a freestyle today, mate.
We're still in the new setup. Yeah. We've not quite mastered the mic shit, have we?
No.
They're kind of balancing on our legs.
Yeah.
We need a table, really, like something just to put here in between us, but we'll get it sorted.
We'll get one. Yeah. We'll get one. I mean, again, we're going to try and be the relatable dads today, mate. You've promised me some bin chat.
Absolutely.
You've promised me some Gladiators chat. We've, I'd love to bring up a few topics as well about gentle parenting.
Okay.
Right, it's been building up. It's been building up.
Yeah, okay.
But before we dive into today's freestyle, mate, how have you been?
Good, mate. Yeah, not too bad. Obviously, newborn baby saga continues. Oh my God, there's a massive spider on the floor there.
Is there?
Have you seen it?
Where?
There. Is that a spider?
I don't know. It's not that big though, mate.
That's massive, mate.
Let me have a look.
You're going to have to kill that.
That'd be all right.
No, it's a grass spider.
Are you gonna? That's a grass spider.
You know, I'm not told you that. I'm not very good with spiders.
You're not?
Oh, I'm terrible.
All right. So you want me to murder a spider right now?
100%.
I'm not comfortable with murdering spiders.
No,
I'm actually not.
We're going to take a very brief pause while I
release
murder
the spider.
the shit out of this spider.
We're going to release it to the wild.
I'm going to kill the shit out of that spider. Right. All right. That's it. It's gone.
We're
done,
back.
Dusted. Brad goes, that's a nice segue into my next piece, actually. So
it is, because that could have been my one opportunity to be bitten by a radioactive spider, because I'm seeing Spider-Man on Thursday.
Oh, you are? That's right.
Yeah. But I feel like I've stole your thunder now, mate. But
I get really on edge, mate, about spiders.
That's fine,
I don't know what it is.
That's fine.
It's fine. I remember being in Budapest once, and there was some bloke on the street with like a live snake putting on people. Everyone shit themselves. I had it around my neck. I was dancing around. I'd had a few beers, but spiders, I just can't do them. Sorry. If there's a spider in here, I can't risk it breeding.
Can't risk it breeding.
No, I need to kill the June pool, unfortunately.
Right.
I sound like fucking. Right. Yeah. I sound like Hitler now.
Yeah. Before we go too dark. Anyway, you were talking about your son.
Yes, he's settling in well, mate. He's started to sleep better. We've had he's had this colicky thing going on for a while. You know what newborn babies are like, agitated, digestive system doesn't quite work properly yet, and they get this thing called colic. Did Ted have colic?
He had it a bit. I think, is it almost like, I feel like it's going to be
like indigestion, basically.
Yeah, I feel like it's going to be mum screaming like, it's acid reflux.
It's like acid reflux, but they don't burp enough. They don't like trump enough. It's gassy, basically, inside, and they're not
gas build up.
So you have like Infocom, which is the medication you give for colic, but it's not really worked. And one of Amy's friends came over and said, we've had this amazing, they had a similar thing, and an amazing doctor who they paid private for to recommend some stuff. And it's this probiotic for newborn babies. So it's just like healthy bacteria that you put in there. And it also comes with vitamin D, because did you know that breast milk contains lots of vitamins and minerals that the baby needs, but it doesn't contain vitamin D?
Does it not?
No.
I thought you were going to tell me the breast milk's personalised, which I remember.
No, it is 100%.
Yeah, I remember Jess Neville telling us about that. The breastfeeding expert. That's
fascinating, right?
Blows my mind.
So the mum's milk is personalised to that baby.
Is it personalised to you as well?
I mean, I've never tried it, mate. I will be very weirded out if it was. But it doesn't contain vitamin D. Formula does, but she's breastfeeding 90% of the time. So this extra vitamin D I think has been quite good. So yeah, he's a lot better now. He was either awake and agitated or asleep. Now he's awake and he's kind of looking round and becoming a bit more cognizant of what's going on.
When I walked in earlier, you could see you were like, what are you doing in my house?
Yeah. I mean, because he's only a month old, he can hold his head up. He's he's a strong boy. I mean, good gene pool so far, mate.
Great success.
Yeah. Great success. We'll give it another month, mate. We'll have him deadlifting it.
Yeah, get him wrestling. He'll be all right.
Yeah. How about you? How's your week been?
It's been good. 6-week holidays in full swing.
Of course, yeah.
Our first one with Ted, because obviously any 6 weeks we've had in the past or any summer, it's been at nursery. We're a little bit more.
How's it been managing that?
Do you know what? He's got off to a really strong start. I feel like I've mentioned this a couple of times, but when he's in like school time, term time, whatever it is, like he's such a dad's lad, and he's just been a little bit antsy with Amy, answering back, getting a bit handsy. Whereas now he's just like, Mum's the best thing in the world.
Really?
He's like wants to get him cuddle up with Mummy, wants to like be with her all the time, and
it's interesting.
Didn't want to know me.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So, but no, we've been on his travels, so I've done quite a few assessments recently, up and down the country, and went to a lovely place yesterday called Newmarket.
Yeah, you mentioned,
which is quite famous for horse racing, and stopped off at Birmingham the day before, and just, I did see though, I don't know if you've been to Birmingham recently.
No, okay, not for a while.
Went down the canal, the lock. Would you call it the lock? Anyway, so we're showing Teddy like the barges going up and down and stuff. Really cool to take kids to see. But then I could hear this noise, and I'm like, what is that god awful sound? And it's this bloke singing. So we went up this ramp, and there's a huge sign that says Aussie Forever, and there's a guy just with a speaker singing Ozzy Osbourne songs.
Mega.
He were off his head. Yeah, he must have had like just a 12-pack of Stella, and I'm like, fair play,
just
mate.
Ozzy's biggest fan hasn't yet come to terms with the fact that he's passed on.
Yeah. I just heard a few people walking past me like, welcome to Birmingham. So it did make me howl. And then we stopped off at a lovely place called Grantchester, which I spoke to you about. So
Grantchester sounds cool.
It's really cool. And Grantchester Meadows. So if anyone's ever in the Cambridge area, really recommend checking out, especially if weather's
if
really
someone
nice.
says they're from Grantchester Meadows, you go, that sounds uppity, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's quite posh, but yeah, it's nice. It's really nice.
Lovely. Yeah, I've said to you before, great part of your job that you can get to go and take your family around the country and show them different bits and do a bit of travel. Something we don't definitely do enough of. We kind of just save it for the big holidays, but I'd love to do more of that. Yeah, for sure.
I mean, Ted was thrilled because we stayed in the Premier Inn, right? And I said to Ted, I'm like, right, I'm going to get you an all-you-can-eat breakfast. You can eat as much as you want. You're obsessed with it. He were there for ages wanting to go back and like get everything sorted.
How does expenses work with stuff like that? Are you able to put their stuff through and like you put
not Amy and Ted.
Okay.
So for me, like I'll like itemize the invoice. So companies I work for, I'll say like, look, here's my assessment fee, is like money that I spent on a hotel because they give me like an allowance for it. I once went a bit too bougie and they were like, we're not covering that.
Did you? Okay, what did you do?
Rented a little Airbnb, like a shepherd's hut.
Oh, okay.
We were quite flash, to be fair.
Was it really?
Yeah. They were like, you've gone £50 over budget, Brad. I'm like, can I claim a bit back? They're like, yeah, that's fine. Well, which were cool. Like, I took Amy and Ted with me.
£50, not much. I thought you were going to say like 300 quid or something.
No. Just 50. I went 50 quid over, which were, it's what it is.
For a shepherd, so a bit of adventure with the family. It's worth it, isn't it?
It were nice. And I think that's one of my favourite parts of doing it because I do get to take them with me.
You've got, for what I assume is now less than 50 quid, a really nice little getaway with the family in a shepherd's hut. Yeah. It's cost you 50 quid for the accommodation.
Got sheep for an alarm clock. That's what we got, mate. That's what I paid 50 quid for.
Yeah, brilliant. I love that. I think it's, something I'd love to try and do more of, but... like I said, I'm residing to this room for now.
Again, there's just so much to see. I spoke to Gav Walker earlier, and he's been to Northumberland, and he said it's just a lovely place. And I just never thought, just having a little break to Northumberland, I never thought.
Speaking of different counties, we got some bin chat.
Yeah, we got some bin chat.
Some local bin chat to Yorkshire, Sheffield. There's been some quite hot news. Now, blue bins are notoriously small. Why is the blue bin smaller than the brown bin and the black bin? Are they assuming that you've got less cardboard? Because my household would definitely suggest otherwise.
Maybe an oversight from the council, which, believe it if you want. But like, I don't know, maybe, I feel like it's ever since companies have shifted to using less plastic and a bit more cardboard packaging, like
it's reusable stuff, isn't it now? Yeah,
100%. So maybe that's what it is. Maybe it's just
so basically the council have announced they're going to redo everyone's blue bins. They're going to make them the same size, I think, as the black and brown ones, which for me is perfect. But apparently the stat was 1 in 4 homes in Sheffield, and this with the Sheffield postcode, has an overflowing blue bin. Is that right? Blue bin?
Blue bin, yeah.
They are at this crisis point now where there's a lot of pile up as well. And if you... So what I do is, if I have an overspill, I'll get one of my bigger cardboard boxes, fill that, and then put it by the side. Only issue is if it's windy, I'll come out in the morning and I've got my Amazon parcels all over the street.
Genuinely, we are overspill. If it's a decent sized box, I'd just bring it back inside, sit Ted in it. There's your crayons, mate. You make whatever you want.
Yeah.
And that is, he loves doing that. Yeah. Which is quite nice, but obviously then it clogs the house up full of a fucking spaceship that I didn't ask for.
Yeah. And he wants to keep it for months.
I just politely get rid of it when he's not home.
Yeah. Where's my spaceship? It's gone to space.
It's gone to moon, kid. Sorry.
But yeah. And in other news, I guess could you tie it into, is it a health and fitness fact of the week? Probably. I'm going to anyway. It's
depends if it's rubbish or not.
It's not. He's far from rubbish. So Gladiators has got a new athlete, someone we've mentioned on the pod a few times, Mr. Tom Stoltman, who is world's strongest man. He's not actually world's strongest man at the moment, is he? That is the American guy. I can't remember his name.
Oh, yeah. I can't remember his name, though.
It's on the tip of my tongue. But he has been world's strongest man in the past. He's won it, I think, 3 times. I think Tom Stoltman's been like 3 or 4 times.
Yeah, I'm sure he has.
Britain's strongest man pretty much every year. He is the biggest thing to come out of Scotland.
Since Haggis.
Literally the biggest thing to come out of Scotland. Probably since Haggis as well. Yeah. And he's now on the Gladiators. He's replacing Giant, who went out in quite a controversial fashion.
Yeah.
Do you know why Giant got sacked?
I have heard this, and I think I back it because it's a big show for kids, isn't it?
Yeah.
And I just think if a kid's got Instagram and they go, oh, that's Giant. Oh, Giant's girlfriend. Oh, Giant's girlfriend. Oh, I see.
Yeah. So I think, well, we've spoken about OnlyFans, haven't we, in the past, and we know how much those girls can earn. I think his girlfriend, I think the mad thing is he actually left his wife and kids, you know.
Really?
He had a wife and 2 kids, I'm sure. Okay. And he left her for an OnlyFans model, which, let's be honest, it's all crossed our mind. I think you probably shouldn't be doing that shit.
When I was doing my research, I'm sure that I saw that she's a Megan Fox lookalike as well.
Is she?
But your face is changed.
No, don't tell me that. Oh no, Giant. Yeah. I mean, I have a bit more sympathy for Giant nowadays.
Worth losing your Gladiators job.
That's a tough one, isn't it? Yeah. If she's a Megan Fox is like, she's in my top 3, mate. I'm not gonna lie. So. Yeah, I feel Giant, and I sympathise, mate. I sympathise.
I mean, we were trying to think of what Tom Stoltman's Gladiator name's going to be.
How do you go bigger than Giant? You mentioned
Colossus. I said Colossus. Yeah. I just thought of maybe Titan. I feel like Titan could be a good one. Titan could be a good one.
Yeah.
Or maybe just bigger Giant.
What about if you could go down like Zeus?
Zeus? I want to see somebody who's chiseled to be Zeus.
Do you?
Yeah. Yeah. Just holding a lightning bolt.
Who else is there? There's like a lot in Greek mythology, isn't there?
Yeah.
Down that route.
Yeah, Athena's on there. I feel like Cyclone's left as well. Cyclone. Remember the girl who was on there, the powerlifter?
Wasn't Cyclone a game on it?
No. Oh no, that's I'm Celebrity. Celebrity Cyclone.
Oh yeah, it is.
Yeah.
I've got my game.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
I've got my game shows mixed up.
But
the Cyclone on
they were an Irish powerlifter on there called Cyclone, and she were quite scary.
Right.
And one of my clients said, do you know how much Cyclone weighs? And this is not me shaming whatsoever, because she's a powerful lady, very athletic, very powerful.
Yeah.
Over 90 kilos.
Does she?
I'm like, she don't look it.
Does she?
But I'm like, no. But I'm
some people are just dense though. Like,
but I'm thinking any female who's coming up against that, or depending on what game it is, you're not got a prayer.
Not got a chance. We know that a cubic square of like a cubic square centimetre or metre or whatever of muscle weighs more than a cubic square centimetre of fat. So you can hide it. Those muscle fibers get dense. I think powerlifters are generally better at that, aren't they? Hiding their weight because they're so small. So they're so densely packed for their size, and they can't get big enough to go over into different weight categories. So
true.
Makes sense.
It did shock me though. But when I saw like, oh my God, like, yeah, she's literally heavier than me. And you just wouldn't think it.
Wow.
But it's nuts.
Heavier than me right now, actually.
Yeah.
I mean, I've just crept under. I'm 89.5 now.
Crazy. And I'm sure she got some records as well. Some European records, youth records, yeah.
She'd bench us, no problem.
Oh,
mate.
1,000,000%.
She'd have us over the shoulder.
Yeah. She wants to come on and prove it.
Yeah, more than welcome.
Well, whatever.
So yeah, we'll see. We did Google what his name was going to be.
Yeah.
Which it hasn't been revealed yet. But if you've been at the show, I'm sure you'll know.
Yeah, 'cause TBC is a bit of a shit name, isn't it?
Yeah. I had a client actually who went to, anyway, actually, sorry, his missus and his kids went and they relayed the information to him. And apparently they've got this new game. It's a bit like, is it called Everest or something like that? And I think he stands at the bottom, they stand at the top, and they basically have to run down and try and get past him. And apparently he was throwing these people back up Everest as quick as they were coming down.
Yeah.
So I think, yeah, he's causing like some chaos. I think
Sounds fun.
I kind of really want to watch it now. I've not been that bothered by Gladiators in the past few seasons, but this is one where I would actually go, yeah, I actually want to know what Tom Stoltman does to the average 60, 70-year-old man.
Apparently they bring in Joe Marler in as well.
Oh, are they? Yeah. Joe Marler?
Yeah.
He'd make a really good... Well, he would, yeah, he'd make good...
He's a bit nuts.
He's also a character. He's really good personality.
He is. Have you seen his interview with Prince Harry?
No.
Well, is he call it Prince Harry?
Is he the one... Harry's the one that went to America, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Very candid.
Is it?
Very candid.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Is it a recent one?
Yeah. I thought he came across really well. I don't know what to call him. Do you call him Prince Harry?
Yeah, Prince. Well, he's not a prince anymore, is he?
No,
he's had his title stripped.
Ginge.
It's just
Ginge.
It's just Harry and Meghan.
Harry, yeah, okay.
Big Ginge. I'm not sure that'd go down well if we interviewed him.
You'd be surprised.
He's definitely not coming on the show now.
Joe Marler were very chilled with him, and it took me by surprise actually. Because I thought he just not that Joe Marler didn't show him any respect, but he's like, I'm not bothered. He's just a man.
I like that. Joe's like he's like that. Though,
yeah, he's like that.
I've got a lot of respect for Joe Marler when I saw him on Traitors.
See, I've never seen Traitors.
It was weird because obviously, as you're watching it as a spectator, you know what everyone's doing behind the scenes. You're like a bird's eye view of things, but the competitors themselves in Traitors have no idea who's a traitor, what's going on. For some reason, Joe Marler just seemed to know who was who. He's one of those people who can look at you and tell if you're lying or not. He weirdly throughout the whole show, he was going, I reckon it's him. And everyone's going, it is him. How does he know? How does he know it's him? Joe just seems to kind of suss people out.
Good as a character.
He's just good with people. It doesn't surprise me that he's treating Harry that same way.
Maybe that's what sport teaches you. Yeah. I love
everyone's the same, yeah.
Yeah. I love seeing like these old clips of Joe Marler. Have you seen him when he's winding up? Is it not James Smith? What's his name? James Haskell.
No, it's a good.
I think he proper.
Does he get
You can see him be like, oh, I've got him.
I like that.
It's amazing. I love
bet
seeing
in those dressing rooms there's some right wind-up merchants.
Yeah. But I think you were playing against him as well, and he just lost it.
Did he?
Yeah, Haskell just lost it.
Love that.
Which Marler's just like laughing his head off. which I do enjoy. I feel
like James Haskell takes himself a bit too seriously.
I just wanted to probably bring up I suppose sporting parents as well, mate. So I'm looking at getting Ted into some more team sports because, respectfully, he's quite intelligent. Been playing a bit of chess. He's doing all right, but he's not a very good loser. He's a horrendous loser.
Is he?
To the point where I think it could get in the way of him when he's playing other things. So like, do you know what? Let's get him into some team sports. Let's try him with some team sports. And again, like I've spoke about, like football, cricket, basketball, rugby. Just gonna try him, innit? And again, I don't really know what to expect because obviously I've lived it from doing it myself and seeing my brothers do it, but I've never been at the other end. I don't know how I'm going to be. I don't know how I'm going to be.
It's difficult when you see your traits and your kids, isn't it? And were you a sore loser as a kid?
I wouldn't say I was sore loser. I think I tried to see things differently. So I was a bit of a weird kid because I was quite, creative and expressive. And I don't know, I never really got that, alpha sort of must-win mindset. Probably as I was a teenager, and then I had that like big testosterone boost. Yeah. But for Ted, like I can see he just wants to win. Okay. He just wants to win, and
competitiveness is really good, and it can serve you well in sports. It's that desire to win at all costs, but you have to accept that losing is kind of part of it. You can't win every game. I always think about Michael Jordan when I think about like extreme winners, but the Chicago Bulls, when they were at their peak, wouldn't win every game, and Jordan had to be okay with that, with losing some in the season. But then it was like, we do everything we can. We never give up on a game. Even how many games did they win in some of their seasons that were like in the last 5-10 minutes, they pulled it back and you get the points. They never gave up on it.
I think that's probably what sport teaches you, because I don't want Ted to get pigeonholed to be like, oh, you play there. Like, so I'm quite curious to know. Obviously, I don't know much about rugby and cricket, but I will learn if he gets into it. I'm down. I'll learn everything I can. I think it's hard from a coach perspective as well, because I will purely base it on if we get him into a team or he goes somewhere on the quality of coaching.
Yeah.
That is all I'll base it on. And if he enjoys it and he's with his mates, I'm like, yeah, cool. But you'll make other mates. Do you know what I mean? That's what sport does. So, and it's hard because I don't want to make it too like child-led, but I also don't want to be like, this is what you're doing.
Yeah.
So it's a very fine line. So I'm having to like be quite opportunistic.
I think to coach kids at that age, you really have to play that fine line between making it super fun, making them love it, enjoy it, wanting to come back every week, but also teaching them the hard nuts and bolts of like, these are the drills that we and you have to demand respect even at that young age. I think as coaches, we get that, don't we? And I would be exactly the same. I think when our kids get into any kind of team sports, there'll be a certain sense of it, it's like judging the coach constantly at everything they do. Yeah. But also, I think it's, you know, you have to, if you're taking your kid to that team as a parent, you have to then also respect the coach to a certain degree. So, but I'll still be judging. No doubt about it.
For me, I just want him to, I always want him to try his best. Yeah, it might not be the best, or he might be the best, but I still want to see him try. I don't want to see him get complacent. And seeing him at athletics now, it's quite fascinating to see him get other kids involved and talk to him, be really social. And I will like that in teams where I can sort of see it in him that, yeah, maybe you are going to join other people in and you are going to, Amy actually rang me before we started recording about, you know, I've been to warehouse this morning to get some supplies. And anytime Amy takes Ted with her, the girls behind desk are always like, oh, do you want to get yourself a sweet? You know, I've got like a little sweet box here. And Teddy just always gets one, uses his manners and says thank you. And they went, you can have more than one, you know. And he like looked at Amy and said, I might get another one for Nova, who's my cousin. Is that okay? And I'm like, okay, we're doing all right here.
That's nice.
We're doing all right here.
That's nice.
And it's nice to know that is his default, you know. Yeah. Think of somebody else first, you know.
Yeah.
After you've got your own lolly, of course. But yeah.
Put your own mask on first.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll wait and see what he does. But I can see
love
he wants
that.
to win.
Yeah, I've met Ted several times, right? And he's a lovely, lovely lad. He really is. And very athletic as well. You can see it in the way he moves. So I think he'll be really good at team sports. I do. I think you just got to choose the right one and actually not be afraid to bounce around a few as well. I think you're at a really good age where get him trying loads of different stuff. It's quite, the tricky thing is the more you try, the more it's tricky as parents to take them to these things and commit to it all. But what you generally tend to find is like, if I always think about the Neville brothers, they reckon that the Neville brothers could have been exceptional cricketers, like England level cricketers, but they just chose football because it pays more. And like, you know, you in a stadium with people cheering your name, like football's so much more exhilarating, isn't it, than cricket? But they tried so many different sports. As kids, apparently, was it Gary or Phil that was ridiculous at badminton as well and could have done really well at that. One of them was great at badminton. And I thought, this is probably kids who've just been given free rein to try every sport as a kid. And they weren't the best footballers in the world, were they? Like, they weren't like the most technically gifted. But my God, did they both work hard. They probably just worked, and they were ultra winners, competitors, and were given that free rein as a kid to like, just play all the sports you want.
You never seen that clip of Novak Djokovic?
Which one?
He's doing an exhibition event and they get him doing like speed ladders and basketball and just doing all sorts of different sports. And he's so good because he didn't specialise in tennis from what I'm aware from a young age. He did all sorts of stuff. Right. Very similar. I think he's Serbian, Djokovic.
Serbian, yeah.
Obviously, there's a big basketball culture there anyway. And you could just see like he just absolutely loved different sports and he can move. Again, he's just so athletic. Yeah. And it's not all about that. It's about other stuff as well. And again, another topic I wanted to bring up today, mate, was that of gentle parenting. Because I keep seeing little things on my news feed, you know, gentle parenting, has it got its place? And, you know,
what is gentle parenting?
I think it's described as like helicopter parenting. You know, like when you're always there or you're always like, oh, okay, darling, we'll not do that if you don't want to. And it's like, no, sometimes you have to do stuff.
Yeah.
Like you have to tidy up after yourself. Because if you get to a teenager and you've never tidied up after yourself, and then you move out and you've never tidied up after yourself, you've got a rude awakening.
Yeah.
And I think it's surprised me to maybe see this, you know, I'm a man of science, right? You sort of see the things that pop up now in research and people trying the best to understand it and do what's best for children from a psychological level. But there's still stuff to do. You know, you still owe it to them to teach them how to do stuff. Not everything is child-led.
You quoted me on the last podcast, and I'm going to quote you now. You said, if you don't parent your kids, you'll parent your grandkids. You said,
And I think that's
if you
such
don't
a good way
if you
of
don't parent
thinking
your kids,
long-term
you'll parent your
about it.
grandkids. Because if you teach your
And I
kids
think that's
really
such a
good
good
ways
way
to
to
deal
kids,
with
your parent
setbacks and
not
if you
being so
teach your
gentle all the
kids
time,
really
being
good
parenting.
ways to deal with
You just
setbacks
fortify them against
and
the world and life.
not
and you
being
teach
so
them
gentle all the time. Can
You have to have a bit of humility.
You have to have
You
a
just
little bit
fortify them against the
like,
world
nous
and
about
life. And you
Because if you
teach them
don't,
the
those lessons
You have to have a bit
that
of
you never
humility.
taught them,
You have to have a
will
little
then
nous about
not be
you.
passed on to you.
And
Because if you
they'll
don't,
end up
those
falling onto
lessons
you,
that
and
you
you end
never
up having
taught
to
them
step in to them
will then not
parent
be
your
passed on to your grandkids.
Hmm.
And
they'll end up falling onto you.
I
and you
think
end up
my
having to
views on
step
this are
in
quite
to them parent
I
your
dunno.
grandkids.
quite out there.
And
I do think that gentle parenting, for the most part, doesn't work. I do think
I'd
that
much rather
I
take
do
a
think
Harlan
that
Middlesbrough approach.
gentle parenting,
I
for
do.
the most part, my child so far.
I'd much
Oh, you've got a very,
I'd much-
very obedient.
I'd
young
much
girl,
rather take a Harlan
pleasant.
Middlesbrough
You
approach.
even said before you came in, like,
I'd
out
much
running
mouth,
mouth. You've got a
she's
very,
great, she's
very
creative,
obedient.
we
young
let her
girl,
free roam
pleasant.
until
You even said
she
before you
started to
came
kick
in,
off.
like, out. She's
And
nice.
we
she
really
was
take
running
those
mouth.
things
She's
quite
great.
seriously
She's
when she kicks
creative.
off. We
We
really
let her
do.
free roam.
We don't let her get away
until
with it.
with it
And
a little
and
bit
we
once
really take
on
those
one
things quite
occasion.
seriously when she
And
kicks
that
off.
is
We
the
really
seed
do.
they need that will grow and plant into
And we-
something
and
where
we-
they
we
become
really-
like a really horrible little kid to
when she
be
kicks
around.
off. We really do.
And
that will grow and
she's
plant.
never,
And we
she's what,
really
really
out.
horrible little
Never
kid to be
ever
around. Has she ever had a meltdown?
And
Like
we
total,
really,
really horrible little kid to be around. Never had it. Never had a meltdown. And it's because we never let it get to that point. I go out and had a meltdown.
And you'll find one kid
And we-
in there
and we
having a
really
complete
meltdown in
And we
But
really
your kids will tell you a lot
not
about the way
that
their
in
parents are.
And we
is allowed to
really
raise their
completely
voice
not
at
that in
home.
public.
Often.
And we really
completely
not that in public.
And I'm now. We're not.
And we-
I
and
don't
we
want
really
to keep my
not
kids
that
say
in
weird
public.
We're not. I don't.
But
want
give
my kids say
make
weird
them understand
complexes.
why they can't.
Feel like that
That's
you've
so
got to be
good.
completely subservient.
You ever heard the phrase, you are what you tolerate?
No, I've not. No.
And there's a lot to be said about that and parenting philosophy and what you value. And probably something that I see a lot is an overcompensation. You know, like, oh, my mum never hugged me as a kid, so I'm going to smother and like coddle culture my kid. And it's just an overcompensation. And
Yeah.
maybe it's down to insecurity of the parent. I have no idea.
Yeah.
But it's such a weird psychological thing. And like, I made a few quotes here about, you know, it's easier to build strong children than to fix weak men.
Yeah.
Yeah, that stung when I read that. I'm like, oof, okay. And you think about what a weak man is, and that's someone who can't express himself, who maybe, you know, takes the easy road all the time, someone who doesn't treat people in a fair and nice way.
Avoids difficult situations.
And you think, how do you avoid that? How do you avoid bringing someone up like that? We don't just give them everything they want. You don't tell them world's all sunshine and rainbows because they're not resilient enough. Whether it's not just physically, but just that mental fortitude that you need to get knockbacks and be told little bits of criticism and not let it eat you up inside. Like, I made a few other notes as well, which is stop removing all obstacles, because essentially, if you're eliminating all obstacles, what have they got to overcome?
Where's the lessons learned? Lessons learned in failure.
Yeah, you're just on a straight road, on a nice quiet road.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden you get into a really busy city. I've gone cars again, mate. So I'm talking about cars again. You go into a really busy city where it's really overwhelming. You're fucked. It can be too much.
We noticed this from an early age. So when Harlow used to fall over, Amy would automatically run over and just grab her and mollycoddle her. And I said, you can't keep doing that because sometimes it's not needed. If I see Harlow fall over, my first reaction is, how bad is it?
Yeah.
My first reaction isn't to run over and grab her and cuddle her and go, oh my God, baby, you okay? You've fallen over. Are you feeling okay? Have you hurt your leg? And she's like, yeah, I've hurt my leg. Give me a little hug and a kiss. If she's sobbing her eyes out and she's really hurt herself and she's bleeding from the knees, I'm like, right, shit, give us a cuddle. You okay? Let's wipe your tears. Let's get you wiped down. But most of the time, when she falls over, I give her a look. I say, you all right? She goes, yeah, I'm all right. I says, you strong? She goes, yeah, I'm strong. Wipe yourself down. Let's crack on then. And what you're teaching kids there is that it's okay to fall over. You don't necessarily have to be mollycoddled all the time. You're teaching kids later in life that when things don't go your way and you get hurt, there's not always going to be someone there to pick you up. You're going to have to learn how to pick yourself up a little bit sometimes. I think there's not enough of that in society. And
we do something so similar to Ted. It's quite refreshing actually to you say that because, yeah.
What do you do?
So Ted falls down from being a young age. We've always just gone,
yeah, yeah.
And like, there's always a pause where he's like, am I all right?
Yeah.
And we always go, all right.
And sometimes you don't even know if they're all right. Like, you have to wait a minute and they're like picking themselves up and they're dusting themselves off. And then I always say as well, I say, are you a brave girl? And she goes, yeah, I'm a brave girl. And then she stands up and we get on. And it was nice because she's noticed that's what happens now. So she falls over now. And then she jumps up, she goes, yeah, I'm okay. I'm brave. Let's crack on.
I actually got this from Bluey, believe it or not.
Love that.
Where it's like, it's a good job. It's a good thing you're tough. So I've done that from Ted from being really young. I go like, you all right? And he goes, yeah. I'm like, it's a good job you're tough.
I like that. I'm gonna rob that.
Does it himself now.
Oh, okay.
So like he'll fall down and I'm like, you all right? And he goes, I'm tough. And then he'll just run
yeah.
and it is great because he's made out of rubber. Tough. And then he'll just run
yeah.
and it is great because tough. And then he'll just run
yeah.
and it is great because tough. And then he'll just run
yeah.
and it is great because tough. And then he'll just run
yeah.
and it is great because
yeah.
and then he'll just run tough. And then he'll just run
yeah.
and it is great because
yeah.
and then he'll just run tough. And then he'll just run
yeah.